Hi, and welcome along to World Cup Daily, the show that takes a look at the World Cup and Arsenal news. And I say this absolutely every day when I come on, and I've got to say it again. Two more excellent matches in the World Cup. This World Cup's been absolutely fantastic. I'll tell you what, the Premier League's going to have to go some to follow this after the World Cup because it just seems like game after game after game are excellent. Two great games yesterday. The first one, Holland versus Mexico. Mexico took the lead, were looking good, were looking that they could get through, but then two goals by Holland. The first one, a great equaliser, and then followed up by the penalty right at the end. We've seen a couple of them in this World Cup, penalties right near the end of the game. Iron Robin, did he dive or was he fouled? That is the question. To me, listen, I think there was absolute minimal contact. The way he went down, like somebody had shot him. I don't know. It's a player that divides opinion because running with the ball, I don't think there's anybody better in the world. When he gets that ball and he runs at defences, he's absolutely brilliant. He's amazing to watch. I mean, I've watched the guy live many a times, and he's just unstoppable when he gets that ball and he just drives and runs into the box. But the thing that lets him down is the diving. I mean, he even admitted yesterday during that game, after the game, that during the game he dived in the first half. He admitted it himself. And we've seen it when he played against Arsenal for Bayern Munich. We saw it again yesterday. If you put minimal contact on him, he'll go down like a swan. And I think something has to be done about it. If I was a Mexico fan this morning, I'd be feeling really aggrieved at what happened yesterday, because to me, I didn't really think that's a penalty. I know you'll get a lot of football experts and they'll say, well, there was a bit of contact, so he's got to go down. Is this what football's come to? Somebody just barely brushes you and you fall down like someone shot you? I mean, I know it's the World Cup and I know you're desperate to win, but Iron Robin, we see this far too much from him, and it is really disappointing for a player of his calibre to just keep going over like that. And that kind of spoiled it for me. But however, the Dutch are through, and it was the first game when we saw the introduction of this new break for water when it gets really hot. And it played into the Dutch's hands, really, because they were able to sort of regroup. And good win for the Dutch, and they're looking good. I still don't think they're going to go all the way. I still think that they're a team that can be beaten. I think they've rode their luck a bit after that great performance in the first game against Spain. They've rode their luck a bit in a lot of the games, and I still fancy them not to go all the way. But great performance by them nonetheless. And then the other game, Costa Eureka, should I say, going through against Greece. Again, that was another great game. I thought the Greeks, a bit unlucky. They really threw everything at it. When they went 1-0 down, Brian Ruiz of Fulham fame scoring the first goal for Costa Rica, and then fair play to Greece. They put on a load of strikers and they threw the kitchen sinker at Costa Rica. They scored a last-minute equaliser, and then in extra time they absolutely hammered Costa Rica, who looked absolutely out on their feet. Joel Campbell playing up front. He was playing as a lone striker, so he's having to do all the running, and he ran himself into the ground. Absolutely smashed he was. He and Brian Ruiz, they were all knackered. And how they picked themselves up to take the perfect penalties, 5 out of 5. I'll tell you what, if you're playing Costa Rica, do not go to penalties. The way in which they scored those penalties was absolutely incredible. It shows that they've definitely been practicing penalties a lot, because the Greeks' penalties weren't even too bad, but Costa Rica, perfect penalties, and they are through incredibly to the next round. And I'm supporting them still because, as I said yesterday, my grandmother was actually born in Costa Rica, lived there for a couple of years, she did, until she moved to Jamaica. So I've got a bit of Costa Rican blood in me, so I'm supporting Costa Rica, and it's truly amazing to see how far they've gone. And don't look on it like no fluke. Listen, remember the group they came out of, our group. They got past England, didn't lose to England, beat Italy, beat Uruguay, now beaten Greece. This is no fluke. This is a well-organised team, and it just goes to show you that when you come to these tournaments, it's not just about individuals, it's about teams. And I would put out a tweet last night, and I said, we hear about all these players in England, Ross Barkley, Raheem Sterling, Lallana, all these guys, Luke Shaw worth 34 million, this Lallana 20 odd million. How much money is Joel Campbell worth? I mean, he's been one of the young players of the tournament so far. If he was English, how much money would they be now saying, if he was for sale, that he would be worth? 40 million? Because he's been one of the best young players in this tournament, much better than Ross Barkley and Shaw and all those guys. And listen, he's stepped up to the plate, and it's not a fluke with him either. We saw it last season when Olympiakos, the team that he's on loan to in Greece, came and played against Manchester United, and he scored that goal. You saw the way the Greeks yesterday, because they know how good he is, you saw the way they literally triple teamed him. And even then, he still, you know, pulled off some great little turns and things like that. So how much would he be worth in the current market if he was English? That's the question I'd like to put to you. Let's get into some of the rumours flying around today. It's still all about, as an Arsenal fan, the rumour that's flying around there is all about Alexis Sanchez. A lot of Arsenal fans getting excited. I don't want us to get too overexcited, because you know what, it's like with these sort of deals. If we could pull it off, it would be major. Now, there's lots of twists and turns to this. Number one, will Barcelona sell Alexis Sanchez? Seems like they may be willing to do that, because you think about it, they've got so many superstars there. They've got Neymar, they've got Messi, they've got Alexis Sanchez. They're thinking that they want to bring in some more. They're going to have to let someone go. They're not going to sell Neymar or Messi, so Alexis Sanchez might be the player, the surplus to requirements. Now, will it be that they bring in Suarez and they make that part of the deal with Liverpool? That's what a lot of papers are speculating, that Liverpool have said to Barcelona, you can have Suarez, but we want Sanchez going the other way. However, I remember that would also have to have the agreement of the player. And a lot of other papers, newspapers over in the UK, are saying, well, Alexis Sanchez, his preference would be to go to Arsenal. He doesn't really want to go to Liverpool. He would much rather go to Arsenal. So this one's going to run and run until we get either a decision from Barcelona or the player himself, but it's going to run and run. Whatever happens, if it does come off for Arsenal, it'll be a very expensive deal, probably 30 to 40 million pounds, and it'd be a very welcome deal, I think, at the Emirates. I think it could be, if they pull that off, that would be a signing as big as the Ozil signing last year. Another signing that was linked to Arsenal, I'm surprised this one's still banging around, but apparently Mario Balotelli's looking to try and force a move away from AC Milan. He wants to leave Milan. His agent is still talking him up for Arsenal, still saying that Arsenal, you know, come and get Balotelli. But I just can't see that happening. I mean, that interview with Arsene Wenger last week seemed pretty conclusive that he was not going to go and get Balotelli, that he was not interested in Mario Balotelli at all. So I just can't see how that one is going to happen. One rumour now that's been flying around for the past couple of days, and it's emerged again today, the Daily Mirror claiming that Sami Khedira is the target that Arsenal want for that holding midfielder role. They see him as a player that they can team up in the middle of the park with Mesut Ozil. He's friends with Mesut Ozil, so it would allow him to get into the team ASAP and blend right in. And the fee of about 23 million, that's what they reckon the fee is going to be, and Arsenal apparently willing to pay that. Now, again, if this move was to come off, I think it would be brilliant. It'd be a brilliant move. I agree with all that, the fact that he is very close with Mesut Ozil. They're both German internationals, and plus as well, remember the rest of the German contingent in the Arsenal team. I agree that it'd be brilliant to see Sami Khedira come to Arsenal, but there's a lot of other papers that are saying, well, no, actually, no, Morgan Schneiderlin is the #1 target for Arsenal in the centre of the park there, playing that holding midfielder role. It is really, really hard to work out and see who is going to be that person that Arsenal are going to look to bring in. But I'll tell you what, me personally, I would much prefer Sami Khedira to come in, because I just think he's that world-class holding midfielder that Arsenal need. No disrespect to Morgan Schneiderlin. I know he's playing at the World Cup at the moment, excuse me, where he's going to get a lot of experience. but he's never played in the Champions League, and Khedira's got vast experience of Champions League, World Cups, European Championships. He would be perfect to come into the centre of the park, but we're going to have to watch this space and wait and see. My comment section is not working today on Google Hangouts. Google Hangouts for you. One day it works, one day it doesn't, but that's how it goes. So I can't get any of your comments up, so I'm going to have to go through them all after the show, but thanks for everybody who's been sending comments in. Just to finally tell you the games today. Germany playing Algeria. That's a real grudge match. The Algerians, remember that World Cup when Germany contrived with Austria to make the result that suited both of them, so that Algeria went out, and the Algerians have not forgotten that, so they'll be going hell for leather tonight. But you'll expect Germany to get through that one. Germany been looking good so far in the tournament. And a game that I'm going to be watching tonight, actually, with Adebayo Akinfenwa, the beast, the football player. I'm going to be watching that with him and some other Nigerians. I'm going to be muscling on the Nigerians tonight, because Nigeria take on France, and that should be a really, really good game. I was very impressed with Nigeria in the last game against Argentina. If they can defend a bit better than they did against Argentina, they're going to give France a lot of trouble. And France, of course, have been looking good in the tournament. A lot of Arsenal interest in there as well, with Olivier Giroud and maybe Morgan Schneiderlin, Koscielny, etc. So it should be a really, really interesting game tonight. Wow, I don't even know who to predict who's going to win that game. But look out for those games tonight. I'm going to go, I think I'm going to have to go with France. France 2, Nigeria 1. And I'm going to go Germany 2, Algeria 0. Those are my predictions. Remember, you can predict the scores. Go to our match predictor on our app to predict the score for both of those games. Thank you for watching World Cup Daily. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, of course, to check out the video, the latest video from our man in Brazil, Luma7, Marcus. He's out there in Brazil. He's got some brilliant footage of when Brazil played against Chile the other night, and he watched it in a fan park in Salvador in Brazil, and the place went crazy, and the partying afterwards is absolutely unbelievable. Make sure you check out that video, and thank you for watching Arsenal Fan TV.